The judge said, "You have not paid your loan." He said, "Of course I've paid back my loan." Who is a witness? Bihari ji is a witness. All right then, get him to the court. And this Brahmin cried and cried and cried before Sri Krishna and said, "No, you have to protect me. Witness Bihari Hazir ho." Nobody came. Witness Gawahi Bihari Hazir ho. Still nobody came. And in the third call, one man walked up. He was all covered in a blanket, and his face was also covered. He opened the blanket to look at the judge, and the pen fell out of the judge's hand. I have heard the story of Judge Swami. There used to be a Judge Swami living in Haridwar. So he was previously a judge in Mathura, and then he became a Swami. But his story became very famous. How he became a Swami was quite astonishing. There is a famous Bihariji temple in Vrindavan, and by the side of that a Brahmin used to live. He had to take a loan to get his daughter married, and he took the loan from a sahukar, a mahajan, money lender. So he was returning it in installments, and the money lender would note it in front of him. But at the end, he was also maintaining a fictitious account. And when the whole payment was complete, he said that you have not made any payment, and he filed a case in the court. So now the appeal came from the court. The magistrate, he sent the clerk with the notice. And the clerk came to meet the Brahmin and said that you have not paid your loan. He said, "Of course I've paid back my loan." The clerk said, "Is there any witness?" He said, "Yes, there is a witness. Bihari ji is a witness. Sri Krishna." So the matter came in front of the court. And the judge said, "You have paid?" "Yes, I have paid." "Who is the witness?" He said, "Bihari ji." "All right then, get him to the court." So the next hearing was decided. And this Brahmin cried and cried and cried before Sri Krishna, the temple, and said, "No, you have to protect me." So this is a real story. The judge opened the proceedings, and the announcement was made because it was noted in the records that Bihari is a witness. Witness Bihari Hazir ho. Nobody came. Again the call went out, "Witness Gawahi Bihari Hazir ho." Still nobody came. And in the third call, one man walked up. He was all covered in a blanket, and his face was also covered. So he came into the witness box, and then he opened the blanket to look at the judge, and the pen fell out of the judge's hand. So the judge composed himself and said, "You have come to give witness?" And the man said, "Yes. This person has paid this much on this date, this much on this date, this much on this date." So he said, "What is the proof?" He said, "He's got another register inside, in this particular cupboard." The judge sent the police to do the inquiry. They found the register with all the payments. Now the judge did pass the judgment in favor of the Brahmin, but he resigned. He left his job and he went off to Haridwar. So this is the third point of surrender, which is to have full faith. Fourth point, to always feel gratitude for the graces that we receive. We are receiving so many graces, but we are being negligent, not realizing them as graces. So to have that attitude of gratitude is so purifying. A very famous poet in Delhi, he was invited to the court of the emperor, the Badshah at that time, to come to the court and relate a poetry. So he was thinking, I am so poor, I don't have a proper dress. How will I go to the king's court to relate this poetry? So thinking like this, he was saying, oh God, why have you made me so poor? I am so unfortunate. In the meantime, there was a knock on his door. He opened the door and he saw a toy seller. This toy seller did not have one leg and he did not have one hand. So the one hand he had, he was holding a crutch to support himself. So now his other hand was not there. How was he selling toys? He had put them on a string and he had put the string around his neck as a necklace. And he came and said, sir, will you buy any toys? And this poet looked at him and was astonished. He saw such a smile and serenity and happiness on his face. So he said, oh toy seller, don't you feel that God has given you so much of misery? Don't you feel bad at your plight? So the toy seller responded that why should I feel bad? I have got one leg and I have got one hand. And I am able to sell these toys. I don't look on it as a business. I feel that I am selling joy to people. So I am having this opportunity to distribute joy. I thank God for this opportunity. Now the poet was blown away. Here is somebody who has got nothing. And yet he has reframed it in such a positive manner that he is full of gratitude. On the other hand, I am blessed with poetic talent. I've got 2 hands and 2 feet and everything. It's just that I don't have wealth and I am cursing God for it. So rather than remembering again and again what we do not have, remember to count your blessings. There will always be people ahead of you. Instead of that, look at people below you and be thankful for what you have. In the spiritual realm, look at people ahead of you and create discontent in yourself. So in the spiritual realm, don't be contented. Feel discontent. Then you will keep the impetus, I need to move ahead, I need to move ahead. So the 4th point of surrender is to feel gratitude to the Lord for His graces. And the 5th point of surrender is to give up the sense of proprietorship. What I have is not mine. It is all His. Because I came empty-handed and I will leave empty-handed. Actually, you see, when a smuggler is caught, that smuggler is given 2 punishments. Firstly, whatever he has is snatched away by the police. Give it, all that you looted. And the second, he is given punishment separately for smuggling. Likewise, whatever we have accumulated, at the time of death it will be taken away. And the sins we do in accumulating, we'll have to bear the consequences. So why be proud about it all? Rather than seeing yourself as the owner, see yourself as the caretaker. You are the caretaker of your family. It is not your family. You are the caretaker of your house. It is not your house. There have been kings in India. Raja Man Singh of Jaipur, when Aurangzeb's attacks on Vrindavan were all over India, were so fierce and cruel. So there was so much of upheaval. The Radha Govind deity in Vrindavan, there was a huge temple. It was so huge that the story goes that Aurangzeb, sitting in his Lal Killa, he could see the top of it. So he instructed the destruction. It was a 7-storied temple. Now if you go and look, only the ground floor remains. But the ground floor is so gigantic that you can imagine how big it would have been. But prior to the attack, Radha Govindji, Man Singh was a devotee of Radha Krishna in nearby Jaipur. He got the deities there. And they were installed. A special palace was made so that in the morning when Man Singh would wake up and he would look out of his bedroom, he would immediately get darshan of Radha Govind. So Radha Govindji temple became the center of Jaipur and the whole city got constructed in formation around it. So Man Singh's attitude was that I am not the owner of this kingdom, I am the servant of Sri Krishna. He is the owner, I am just serving him. And that is why also there's a tradition in Puri. When Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra comes, so once in a year Lord Jagannath is placed on the chariot and he is brought out. At that time, the king, so of course now there are no kings, but still that position is continuing in the minds of the people. So from the times of King Prataparudra, the king would come out and sweep the floor. Why? Symbolic. That before you, I am also the servant. I may be a king, but this is only a post I am holding for your sake. So, we are all the servants of God, which means that whatever we have, we are only caretakers of it. And He is the actual owner. So to give up the sense of proprietorship is the 5th point of surrender. And the 6th point of surrender is to surrender ourselves and also surrender the pride of having surrendered. Not to harbor this thought, oh, I am surrendered, the other guy is not. Or I am more surrendered than the other guy. Surrender means to think that I am the worst. Surrender means to think that if ever I have done anything good, it's only because I have received graces. In fact, to see the lack, that as per the graces I have received, I have not done what I should have done. This spirit of humbleness, that if I have done any good, it is by the grace of God. This is essential for surrender. And if it gets replaced by this feeling, oh, I am surrendered, then surrender finishes. So no devotee will ever think that they are a devotee. No surrendered soul will ever think that they are surrendered souls. They will only be aware of their deficiencies and feel that, my God, I have yet to surrender so much. So these 6 points, when they get installed in our constitution, that is what constitutes surrender. So when we reach that stage of thinking, of behaving, of believing, at that time we then attract the divine grace. So this is the Sharanagati that Sri Krishna expects us to do to conquer Maya.